What's up, it's a Spherical, and welcome to Eldet. This is the demo version of a Kickstarter that has since reached its goal, but I will still go ahead and leave the Kickstarter information in the description if anyone wants to follow along with the emerging game. I think it's supposed to come out this month. This game was recommended to me by Nick Clark on Reddit. As a LGBT visual novel focusing on people of color, which is interesting. So I'm excited for this. It looks really beautiful, but let's go ahead and get into it. And the music is awesome. Press spacebar or click anywhere on the screen to progress the story. Okay. The triangle in the bottom right corner will indicate when the text is ready. Okay. Throughout the demo, you will be presented with dialogue choices in which you determine what you do or say in particular moments. Like you do. Your decisions will affect how characters interact with you, including what they do, what they may or may not choose to tell you. Okay, so it's highly interactive, which is nice. Now please enjoy the demo of Eldet. Okay. That's the bell. Adita, do you see anyone? Adita? No, you can take it off now. Hi, lady. You close your eyes and take a deep breath. Holy shit, this is gorgeous! I was asked to lead the meditations today. They'll come looking for me soon. All the more reason to do this quickly. Kunal, there's no going back from this. If you leave, we've been through this. I don't know what more to say. Say you'll change your mind. 16 years, Adita. 16 years, nearly my entire life. And what's been gained? I can't do any magic, you know that. Every acolyte, every magister here is known all along. I'm tired of being here. I'm tired of mages. You know, given the years we've been friends, you might have found the time to say you were tired of me. I'd have left you alone. Don't do that. You know I don't mean you. Look, not everyone is meant for this kind of life. If I've learned anything here, it's that. I'm not meant for it. You can't know that. Not if you leave now. Years of meditation, years of fasting, years of my sight being blacked out by that hood. This isn't what I want from my life. Leaving is the only chance I have. Adita, could you at least look at me? I'm not trying to live your life for you. I just don't know about this. I've agreed to it. I'm packed and we're here at the compass, so now you haven't even told me where you're going or what it is you're doing. Can you even explain to me what a Tomb Raider is supposed to be? There's a great series of video games that's about a lady named Lara Croft. The newer ones are better than the older ones, less overtly sexualized, but hey, they're pretty. You might like them. Are you guys alive in a time period where video games are a thing? Of course I can. They go into tombs, and it's simple. They're treasure seekers. They're made up, just a ruse to trick you into helping me leave. I guess they're treasure seekers. Is this life really so distasteful that you'd rather be, what, some kind of pirate? Now's probably the worst time to make me doubt myself. It's too late to change my mind, Adita. Just let me do this. Does this raider, whoever he is, does he know? Kunal? He knows I've studied here, and that's all he needed to know. And this is a school for mages. Kunal, that's what he thinks you are. Dita, what happens when you can't do the magic he's hired you to do? What will he do with you then? He hasn't told me what he needs to do. He could need me to identify an artifact or do a star reading. Just because he needs a mage doesn't mean he needs magic. But you don't know, Kunal. You have no idea what you could be getting yourself into. I've made my decision. I've handled myself here. What's out there can't be any worse. I'm your best friend. Can you blame me for worrying about you? You don't need to worry about me. Just, please, take care of yourself. Are you okay? I'm fine. Really, I am. Now, I know you've never traveled this way before. It's important that you don't make any mistakes. Right. When I activate the compass, close your eyes. Okay. Stay as still as you can. Got it? And last, stay focused. Teleportation can release a lot of residual magic if the traveler isn't powerful enough to direct the spell. And you're assuming that you were the one who asked me to come here and activate the ruins for you. It's no different from meditation. Close your eyes, let the magic flow with your breath, and then channel it through to the mind. Focus on the incantation and you'll retain control. Right, I'll do that. I'll miss you, Kunal. I'm activating the compass. I'm sorry for making you sad, lady. Ah, dude, magic tattoos! Yes! Fuck yeah! That's so cool. That's so fucking cool. Right, so, eyes closed. Breathe in. Channel the magic. Focus on the incantation. Focus on the... I don't know the incantation. I don't know the motherfucker. Well, I fucked right up, didn't I? Man, look at this art, though! Holy shit. Hello? Where am I? Your entire body begins to tremble from the cold, because you just fell through the fucking ice. Are you alright? What happened? Let's stand you up here. The man helps you to your feet. Shame the lake spoiled your entrance, friend. Excuse me for asking, but you are my mage, aren't you? Yes, are you Tariq? Indeed, I am Tariq. As for what happened, I had hoped you'd be the one explaining. It was like nothing I've ever seen. The light from your arrival parted the clouds above. When it faded, I saw you floating in the water. I pulled you out only moments ago. I don't remember. Suppose you will want to dry yourself off. Shall I back away? Do you need much space? Pardon? After what I've just seen, surely you can use magic to dry yourself. As a frigid gust wafts through the valley, you double over in a renewed fit of shivers. Nah, mate. This soon? 1 minute outside the college walls and I'm already being called on to use magic. Poor Kunal. A drying spell? Of course there are drying spells. Children can perform drying spells. But I can't let him know that I can't. Oh gods, what do I say? A drying spell from a mage of my caliber? I might set this entire forest ablaze, despite the snow. Better to dry off the non-magical way. Well, truthfully, I'm not much of a mage, or really a mage at all. People all my life have told me they expected great things from me, but the moment I got into school, all that ended, and for nearly my entire life have been the biggest disappointment my family could have ever anticipated, and it's a wonder they haven't demanded that I drop the family name in order to retain their pristine reputation. So I could lie, or I could be ridiculously honest. Generally, I say that honesty is the best policy, but maybe not that much honesty right after meeting Tariq. Well, but that sounds... and it's a lie. Fine. You begin shivering too much to say anything clearly. Or maybe not? Well, there's no way around it. You'll have to take your clothes off. What? Forgive me for assuming earlier that magic handled such mundane tasks. Surely it's reserved for much greater deeds. But regardless, we can't have you freezing in those wet robes, my friend. Please, take them off. I'll give you some of my own things to wear until we return to camp. You're kidding. I think you'll find that modesty only holds so long as you still have goods to be modest about. Are you talking about my... There's no one here to see, and I'll go elsewhere while you change. Your jaw aches from the strain of keeping it still enough to speak clearly. If you think it'll help. You try to pull the ties loose on your robes, but your fingers are stiff and uncooperative from the cold. Though if you've already gone numb, you might have some trouble managing it on your own. Do we let the cute Tomb Raider help us strip? This is... Well, but I mean, if you can't do it yourself, you're gonna die otherwise. At this point, like, let the dude help you. You have a point. Let me just... Here, dry off with this. He unfurls his headscarf and hands it... As you dry your hair with Tariq's scarf, he walks behind you. Tariq slides his hand underneath the soaked robes clinging to your shoulders and eases it down, bearing your torso to the cold air. Whoo, boy! To your surprise, you find that you feel less cold already, or perhaps you've ceased being able to feel much of anything. You only distantly notice that Tariq has already begun undoing the skirt tied around your hips. He takes the cloth into his hands and wrings what water he can from it before setting it on the snow. He removes his cloak, tunic, and a thick linen skirt and places them on the ground beside you. I can't believe this is happening. Snow begins to drip. Put on some clothes, dude. Like, at this point, yes, it's fun, and it's sexy, and all that, but you're about to die. That's better, isn't it? I like your clothes. You're so cute! You notice that Tariq hasn't left much for himself to wear. Oh, right. It's cold. I'm sorry. Won't you be cold? So long as we stay ahead of the storm, I'll be fine. Though, let's give it no chances of catching us, agreed? The storm? It's this way, come on. Nearly blind from the furious snow gusting around, you make out the sight of what appears to be... You're camping inside a cave? Yeah. Let's go. You're forced to shout to be heard over the howling wind. I don't presume to know what a mage would prefer, but I'm a man who has grown accustomed to having all his toes and fingers intact, a luxury not afforded by remaining outside in freezing weather. So if we are alike in mind, you'll join me inside. I mean, caves are great places for shelter. What's the problem of sleeping inside a cave? He's a traveler. He's a Tomb Raider. He's not going to have a cabin. You follow Tariq into the cave. He gestures for you to sit down on a blanket opposite to a crackling fire. It appears my sister is asleep. And the Merc isn't here either, though I doubt he'll want to stay out in that storm for much longer. Tariq walks beside the fire and lays your wet robes out to dry before sitting down. Comfortable enough? Better than staying outside. I had a feeling you wouldn't mind the cave for long. Kunal, there's something you should know. What is it? The last member of our party, he is Elven. I know enough of the history of your people to be aware of, well, the possibility of problems. But I let him know before we left for the mountains that there would be a mage among us. He did not object, so there may be nothing to worry about. Ah, you're back. You look back towards the entrance of the cave to see the man Tariq mentioned earlier. Lucky that you weren't too far from here when the storm hit. Kunal, meet Farin. Farin, Kunal. Here's a bit of added protection I've decided to bring along this time. I'm not well known for being overly cautious, but when one has the chance to hire an elven mercenary, why not do it? In truth, I was hoping to hear a story or two from his past employments, but, well, he doesn't talk much. Regardless, it seems at least you'll have quite a tale to take home with you. But don't worry, despite what happened earlier, I think your robes are thin enough to be... Out of the corner of your eye, you'll notice that Farin has already shrugged off his thick fur coat and has just started pulling off another layer. Let's keep listening to Tariq. Let's put a damper on the thirst. To be dry tomorrow, but if you'd like a few extra layers between the three of us, I'm sure we could provide whatever you like. Thanks. Of course. Mercenary. Why would we need a mercenary with us? Well, have you ever seen Indiana Jones? I asked to the medieval fantasy character. Tariq? What sort of things might we encounter that we would, require a mercenary? Protection from my own optimism, perhaps. I've made the mistake of being kind a few times too many. Oh no. Oh no, I like you. This kind of work. Do you know what they say about it? About people like me? You shake your head no. They say we should be hung, drowned, burned, or skinned alive, among other equally thrilling activities. Raiding a tomb, they say, is despicable, an affront to the gods and the dead, and other nonsense. Truthfully, I'm of a mind that the dead have no need for jewels, nor I think do the gods. But armed protection serves me well, given that most would rather see me dead than enter their markets with my cursed wares. To my knowledge, no tomb has ever held anything blessed by a god, let alone something cursed by one. Nevertheless, the stigma against my work has proved troublesome at times. Oh, I see. But the superstitious are only a small consideration. I have a greater need to protect against the ones I hire to assist my sister and I on our raids. What do you mean by that? Suffice it to say, if someone has no fear of the gods, they've no fear of me. Those situations can become complicated, especially when treasure is involved. I've had swords held to my neck on more than one occasion. The worst I had to fear at the college were paper cuts. You gulp. Take it from me, it isn't possible to be paying a so-called honest man for dishonest work. It took me years to learn that lesson. My own fault, thinking that there might be someone worth trusting in the world. Oh. I want to hug you, I'm sorry. Oh gods, does he know? Is he giving me a chance to confess? Wishful thinking tends to cause one undue trouble too often to hold on to it. As does, well, idiocy. I'd like to think I've rid myself of both. But nevertheless, there do come times when even I can't get by on my own. Your here is a testament to that. Though, you're quite a sight nicer than most of the assistants I tend to bring along with me. Thank you. You're taken aback by the sudden shift in tone of Tariq's voice. He thinks you're cute. Something about your eyes. There's a softness there that's reassuring. Perhaps the extra protection won't be necessary. Tariq smiles at you. Stop it! You're torn between Tariq's compliments and the second implication of his words. Even if he does trust me, or will trust me for now, if he's brought in Farron on my account, or Farin? How did I pronounce it before? Foreign, I think. I suppose that does make sense. An elf to counter a mage. He's just trying to cover his bases. He didn't know you. Like he said, he has a lot of stuff to consider in his line of work. And he's not outwardly trying to be disrespectful. He just thinks it's ridiculous that they bury jewels and shit with people who don't need them. So I can see where he's coming from. Sorry, I had to take a drink of my tea. But yeah, he didn't know you, man. He had no idea what he was, like, gonna be up against, so he's trying to cover his bases. Even if I could do any magic, elves can't be harmed by it. Even so, let's talk of trust. I can't help but think... What happens when you can't do the magic he's hired you to do? What will he do with you then? Adida. Something's just occurred to me. Tariq's voice snaps you out of your anxious musing. It may very well be that Farron simply doesn't understand me. I'm not one to boast, but I'm quite a hand at languages. I even recognized yours when you'd only said a few words. Truthfully, I was rather relieved when you spoke in a tongue I could understand quite readily. Surprised, too. I'd have thought you'd use your people's language. But it's no matter. If I recall correctly, Elfin and the Mage language are quite similar. Yes, that's true. Perhaps you could try your hand at talking with him? What does it matter if the languages are similar if I can barely speak any of my own people's language? Oh, Kunal. Perhaps I'll explain that to Farron. If he only understands Elvish, he won't be able to tell Tariq I can't really speak it. Tariq won't be suspicious, at least not for now. I'll see what I can do. You turn to face Farron. Excellent! I'm sure you'll be able to manage. Hey! You take a deep breath. But what if he does understand more than just Elvish? I hardly know anything. It'd be worse than an infant grasping for their first words. He might think I'm making fun of him. Perhaps I shouldn't. If I back out now, Tariq might suspect me. I have to think of an excuse. I don't know. Let's just explain to Farron that we don't have a great grasp of Elvish, but we can do our best. Think of a way to explain to Farron, given your limited knowledge of Arcana Pracarda? Arcana Pracarda, I guess. The mage language. Farron. Bad with speak as Arcana Pracarda. I pour bad like child speaking with Arcana Pracarda. No good at speak. Oh god, this isn't going well. He's cocking his eyebrow at me. Let's try anyway. Let's just, okay, here goes, I suppose. What should I say? Does mercenary work get in the way? Hey boy, you single? Where are you from? Where stays you first? Comes you from? When child? No, that isn't working. Where, what can I say? You were born in some place. Where was that? This isn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Surely this time he understood that. He just doesn't want to talk. He's smiling though. Or maybe not. So I take it you're the college mage? Oh! Good morning! The one Tariq has been calling the answer to his prayers? The previously sleeping woman stares at you with a strange intensity. The answer to his prayers? I do tend to have that effect on people. I suppose so. Is that right? The tone to her voice strikes you as sounding a little less than friendly. One last introduction, I think, now that she's awake. Kunal, this is Kanya. This is my sister. Kanya, this is Kunal, our one and only genuine college mage. Your heart thuds sickly from his emphasis on the word genuine. Oh no. Must have figured me out. Why else say genuine? Who says genuine? You realize that Tariq is looking at you with slight concern. Is everything... Nice to meet you. You notice that Kanya hasn't looked away. Her eyes seem to be appraising you. Tariq? Why is the mage wearing your clothes? Well, you know, we just went outside and smooched in the blizzard. You know, like you do. You gulp. Unprepared for the weather? No, it wasn't my fault. What happened? It was during his arrival, which was certainly impressive until, well, I had to rescue him from a lake, but no harm done. A lake? You mean you fell in somehow? Shouldn't mages be able to foresee mistakes like these? Mages can't see the future. I've said nothing of divining the future. Surely you have your spells, your incantations, all prepared with a delicate hand. One without magic, one such as myself, surely I could only believe that one wielding such gifts would take great care in their usage. That to do otherwise could mean their end, or the end of anyone unfortunate enough to share their company. What would one make of a mage such as that? Could they even be called a mage? Damn! Damn, Kanya! It was just a mistake. You clench your fists to steady your shaking hands. Even so, falling into a frozen lake, does that not feel inauspicious to you, brother? Kanya, it's not too late to call this off, you know. We're calling nothing off. Kunal, perhaps now it's time I let you know why I've asked you here. Your heart pounds furiously in your chest. You begin to feel lightheaded. I don't even know where here is. I'm not without reason for keeping you in the dark. You must understand, I've been operating long enough to know that in my line of work, letting someone know the location of your tomb before you've... Oh, Kunal. You begin to feel faint. Don't pass out. Cracked it is as good as giving away its treasure. That's why you're here. You're going to be... Oh, yep, I passed out. Perhaps it's better to tell you tomorrow. No, it's fine. I just dozed off. I'm fine. Tomorrow, my friend. Rest well. We'll be setting out in the morning. At Tariq's behest, you shut your eyes and lie back. You begin to drift off, but despite your weariness, you can't shake off the fear of the day to come. What have I gotten myself into? Adita, what am I supposed to... You're overtaken by sleep. You wake to the sound of distant voices and the muffled crunch of footsteps in the snow. We'll wait until he wakes up on his own. If he was any of your other Hierons, you would have dragged him out of there by now. Okay, so I know he's supposed to be, like, dangerous, and he is, I'm sure. I'm sure he is a very skilled Tomb Raider, and that takes a lot of skill. But he's so sweet. You rub your eyes and try to take in the dimly lit cave. Some equipment still lies against the far wall, but everyone seems to have left the cave already. You get up and walk over to where Tariq left your robes to dry. You recall Tariq welcoming you to continue using your borrowed clothes if you wished. I want to, but I don't want it to be creepy. And his sister was really suspicious. But I don't want to hurt our relationship. He took all the trouble to retrieve my clothes and set them out to dry. Let's change back into them. You shed the borrowed clothes and change back into your robes before heading outside. Oh, it's beautiful out here. You blink in the bright sunlight, but can see that your companions have already gathered outside. Ah, good morning, friend. I hope you slept well. As well as one can sleep in a cave. I did, thanks. Excellent, excellent. Tariq walks past you towards the cave. I've only to pack up some equipment we may need and we'll be off. No one's been faulted for preparing too much, huh? Tariq walks back into the cave. Hi, Farron. So, you hear snow crunching behind you. Farron, do you mind if I speak to the mage in private for a moment? Her emphasis on mage makes your stomach churn. Farron says nothing, but walks away from you and Kahina. It's Kahina, not Kania. Oops. Was it you wanted to... My brother may be fooled, but he has never met a mage, Kunal. I'm sure you were counting on that, and were I not here, it might have worked. Your heart begins to thud sickly in your chest. What? I don't blame you. I know the reward my brother has promised compelled the lie, but it's gone on too long. You are no mage. I am a mage. How do you know that? How do you know? Why? To better your disguise for the next one you try to deceive. Very well. Each may make their own way through life. So long as my brother and I are free of you, I care little for what farces you play upon others. The first, your eyes. Last night, with only the light of the fire, I couldn't be sure, but now it's obvious. The eyes of a mage are red as blood. The second, you lack the arm markings. That would have been easy enough to fake, but clearly you know nothing of what you pretend to be. No, he went to the college. Like, he's not completely lying. You feel sick from the rapid beating in your chest. Calm yourself, boy. I will pay the reward Tariq offered you in full if you confess yourself. What? He will not harm you for telling the truth. He isn't that kind of person. Shame is the worst you'll have to endure when we leave these mountains. When we return to Karnata, I'll pay you. You can go on with your life and we with ours. You hear crunching in the snow coming up behind Kahina. He's coming back. Tell him the truth. If you wait, he'll find out on his own and you'll be without his coin. And mine. So, are we prepared to... A moment, brother. Kunal has something to tell you. Of course, of course. Speak freely, friend. To tell the truth, I'm not really a mage. Come again? I'm not a real mage. Oh, Kunal, there's nothing to be afraid of. What? It's clear to me now. I should have spoken about this sooner. You've never raided before. You're nervous. Anyone else in your position would be. I'm not a mage. He's not, brother. Look at his eyes. All I see are the eyes of an eager adventurer. Let's set off. Today has been a long time in planning, my friends. Kunal, I will explain your role in all this once we arrive at the site. Fair enough? You can feel Kahina's eyes on you from the side, but keep your focus straight ahead on Tariq. Take a deep breath. That's fine. Excellent! This way. You walk for nearly 3 hours through the snow-covered landscape before you reach the site, a deep basin set between two mountains. As you reach the bottom, the roar of a waterfall echoes against the steep cliffs around you. God, this game is so pretty! Look at that! You find yourself exhausted and panting heavily from the journey. Despite the cool air of the mountains, your forehead is damp with sweat. Tariq, was there no closer place where we might have stayed? I've no doubt that there were many. But then why? Some precautions are worth their negatives, Kunal. Those who live as my sister and I would seize at every opportunity to rob us of our chance at the tomb. In the past, other groups have sent spies to follow our movements, observe and record where and when we traveled. But as I am aware, no one has discovered this place. You hear Kahina shift in the snow beside you. Distancing ourselves until the right time lessens the risk in that regard. And on that note, I don't want us standing in the open any longer. Follow me. Kahina, do you have something to confess to your brother? You walk along the ice towards the far side of the basin. As you draw nearer, you notice a divide in the rock face just behind the falls. Tariq leads you in the rest between the gap and deep into the dark cavern within. Man, I love spelunking. Spelunking is so fun. It's so cool. Caves are neat. It's so dark. You hear Tariq chuckle softly in the darkness of the cavern. What, did you expect we'd come here to find the cave lined with burning torches? No, I suppose that wouldn't make sense. Though in this instance... Mage lights. Is that what those are? I'd wondered. Regardless, Tariq lights a torch and holds it out in the damp air of the cave. By the torchlight, you can see that the way forward lies beneath massive boulders and crumbling pillars wedged together overhead. Ooh, that looks dangerous. Is it even safe to be in here? That pillar back there looks ready to fall. No, it isn't safe. That's not entirely reassuring. It wasn't meant to be. These tombs can be laid through with traps, pitfalls, collapsing ceilings, and even more dangers from the wear of old age upon the structure. Though, well, as you'll soon see, the nature of the entrance itself may have been the only deterrent the builders of this tomb set in place. I need you on your toes, Kunal. You as well, Farin. I'm sure you're both capable, else I wouldn't have hired you, but you lack the experience of my sister and I. I don't say these things to discourage you. It would be a disservice to you to withhold knowledge of the dangers you may face. Honesty often keeps one alive a mile beneath the ground. Honesty often keeps one alive a mile beneath the ground. Keep close to my sister and I, and not only will you walk away unscathed from this tomb, but you'll be weighed down with riches you couldn't imagine. Tariq turns and walks further into the cave, Kahina and Farin following behind. I can't talk today. Trying to shake the thread of traps from your mind, you reach the end of the pillar-lined hallway. What? How is this possible? What do you make of this, Kunal? Something you've seen before? Adida. Are these tattoos like... Are they like fingerprints? Does each mage have their own? What is your mark doing on this door? Something the matter? You find yourself unable to respond. Kunal? He knows this is as far as his ruse can play out. Kunal, are you okay? I can't open this. See, brother, what did I tell you? No, it's... this symbol, Tariq. It's a mage's sigil. These kinds of seals can only be undone by the magic of the mage to whom the sigil belongs. And this... I don't understand. Adida. Kunal, is there no other way? The sigils are a sort of primal magic. Unless one understands their nature, such as the mage who wears the sigil, they can withstand nearly anything magical. It would take an enormously powerful mage to overcome it. Well then, we're in luck, aren't we? What? Brother, he's telling you he can't do it. This talk of sigils is merely an excuse. Farin, you more than any other here would know whether or not someone was truly a mage. What say you? Well? You weren't at the lake, Kahina. You didn't see what I saw. At Tariq's words, a sudden realization hits you. The lake. What had Adida said? Teleportation can release a lot of residual magic if the traveler isn't powerful enough to direct the spell. Residual magic. Perhaps I can... Doesn't matter what you saw. If he says he can't do it, I think I can do it. What? I can do it. Your heart begins to beat faster from a mixture of fear and excitement. This could work. If I get this door open, that's it. Oh, because it's Adida's residual magic. Oh, that's clever. I'll be done with all this, I'll be free to live my life. I'll take the coin and put the college and everything else behind me. Excellent. The sooner you get that door open, the sooner you'll quell my sister's doubts about you. And if that's not enough motivation, well then, imagine the weight of all that coin in your pocket once we're finished here. You nod, then take a deep breath. I'll need some space. Of course. You take one last look at the seal before sitting and assuming the meditative stance. You close your eyes and breathe in slowly. Channel the magic. If there's even any still clinging to me. You know from years of fruitless meditations that channeling requires a focused mind, but despite this you make no attempt to stop the thoughts intruding on your concentration. Adita, was this you? Do you know somehow that Tariq would ask me to open the tomb? And so came here to remake the seal yourself, knowing I might bear traces of your magic? If anyone could overcome another mage's seal, it would be you. If this was you, thank you. "10 minutes pass in silence. This has to work. There's no alternatives. Please open, please open. Here's an idea, brother. Every minute more we wait here, you can pay back my lost time with a silver piece. And when Kunal opens this door for us, you'll give him half your share of whatever we find inside." Fair enough, only I think the elf deserves silver for his own time spent standing here. Add him to my side of the wager. Should Kunal open the door, he can take the rest of my share. Should he fail, you'll match him for the coin you owe me. These things take time. Take your time, Kunal. We know you can do this. Yes, do take your time. I like that the screen goes black when you're closing your eyes. Half an hour pass. Oh no. Then, oh no. You fight to suppress the dread building up within you, but you cannot ignore the fact that this isn't going to work. Of course it's not. Why did I believe that this, of all things, was my way out of the college? Somebody's in trouble. I'm a fool. Gee, I should have stayed. I should have... Kunal, did you... What? What? I did it. I did it! Oh, okay, it's opening. Awesome. Cool. Yes. I mean, unless Adita's in there. Is she? Kunal, you've done it! What's an hour spent waiting when the reward might be the find of a lifetime? Now then. Inside, everyone, and stay close. Even I've never raided a tomb sealed by magic. You may very well end up being our expert moving forward, Kunal. Tariq winks at you before turning. Thank you, Adita. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Finally. I knew of this place for years, and for years I sought to find a mage to get me inside. The feeling of finally walking within these walls is difficult to express. Thank you, Kunal. The air of the tomb is damp and cool, but to your dismay, it's even darker here than it was before. The resting dead have little need for light. What's that up there, I wonder? Another mage light. Kunal, are you doing this? Is Adita, like, leading you through the tomb? Well, no, actually. Not just me. It's all of us. Magic has a sort of life to it, like a living energy. And mage light is able to sense the presence of other life. By glowing, it's like they're greeting you. Though, must have been some time since anyone has entered this place. Normally, it's, well, faster. Fascinating. Ooh, amazing. Truly, truly amazing. Ah, this is so cool! Tariq walks forward and turns to face the group. My friends, I'll be brief, as even I must admit I can hardly stop myself from setting forth immediately. It appears the way behind me can't be traveled. But don't worry, I'm not one to give up so easily. We'll devise something to get us across. But for now, we're left with two paths. One to the left, and one to the right. It seems practical to me to split our party in half. Kunal, Farin, one of you will go with either myself or my sister. You'll each have an experienced raider at your side should anything disagreeable occur. And Kunal, since you got us inside, I'll let you choose who you'd like to follow. Oh, I can't go with Farin? No, I'll go with you. You follow Tariq across the atrium and down one of the side hallways. I was just excited that I went Tariq. Kunal, I want to apologize to you. It's neither the custom of either myself or my sister to treat guests as you've been treated. As to why she's been this way, I cannot say for sure. It's okay, really. I'm glad you feel that way. Tariq smiles at you. In truth, she warned me against coming here from the moment you sent me your letter. I'd never quite seen her like that before. I've never seen her afraid. Understandably, of course, you are a mage after all. I would have been just as fearful had you not, well, dropped in the way you did. Tariq laughs and pats you on the shoulder. I'm only teasing you, friend. But back to my sister. Ordinarily, had she advised me against a raid, I would heed her word. She's got more sense than I do most of the time. But this place is burned in the back of my mind for years as I search for a mage. Your people keep well away from those of us without magic, it seems. We mages do tend to keep to our own kind. You can just be a complete dick. Mages do tend to keep their distance. I'm not opposing to getting closer to someone. Hey, boy. I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to getting closer to someone without magic. You gulp. Did I really just say that? Oh, God. Is that so? Well, Kunal, I must say, given how well things have gone today, I wouldn't be against you joining us on another raid. Oh, that could have gone worse. Now then, let's move on. You walk through the corridors of the tomb, but find nothing of note until you come across the first room we find, and it's caved in. Tariq inspects the rubble spilling from the room. Indeed, though I'm not wholly surprised. It's not uncommon to make many finds such as this when making an initial pass. On your first time through, you want to pick up anything that leaves the tomb without great effort, and consider the rest when time and manpower allow. The type of laborers who would come cheaply to clear rooms and build bridges over chasms are of the same type that would take anything small enough to fit in a pocket, or threaten you for higher pay. Exactly. You're learning much faster than I did. Perhaps you'll even make a better raider than me someday. Though I'd much rather us be companions than rivals. Now let's continue, shall we? Farin? Did something happen? Where's my sister? Where's Kahina? Perhaps now might, be an appropriate time to break your silence, friend. Farin hands Tariq what looks like a small bracelet. What? She's left? Tariq? When the spying from rival raiding groups was at its worst, we devised a sort of simple communication using beaded bracelets. One band without beads means she's left the tomb to return to Karnata. Are you okay? Of course. Let's keep going. You proceed through a series of empty hallways before reaching a set of stone steps. Tariq remains silent for some time. His expression lacks the excitement and enthusiasm you've grown used to seeing. Was it because he didn't believe her? Or what? You, Tariq, and Farin make your way down and emerge into a wide-open chamber. Calm water gently laps against a stone path extending into the center of the room. You follow the path forward towards the ruins. The sight of the structure before you makes a chill run down your spine. You can't explain why, but an overwhelming sense of dread overcomes you. However, the ruins seem to have the opposite effect on Tariq. Now, what do we have here? You squint at all the rubble. What do you think this is, Tariq? Tariq holds the torch forward. He takes a step back and looks upwards. The This is the bottom of the atrium. I think we've just found where the path to the third door wound up. Let's see. Well, despite being destroyed, at least whatever this used to be is accessible. Hope you're not afraid of getting your hands dirty, Kunal. Again, as I said earlier, it's not that I doubt you, but this work can be challenging, to say the least. I'm going to take a look at those rings. Hopefully we've just made our first find. Kunal, could you hold the torch? Sure. You turn around and take the torch from Tariq. What happened? What happened? What the fuck? You feel both weightless and impossibly heavy all at once. The darkness surrounding you presses in on all sides, forcing the breath from your lungs. You struggle in vain to cry out, but just as suddenly as it began, you gasp and stumble forward. What? Where am I? Tariq? Red mage light? Your skin crawls beneath the dim red glow cast across the chamber. This feels so wrong. What's that sound? You slowly turn around towards the source of the sound. What the fuck? I mean, it's pretty, but what the fuck? You feel the air around you hum and crack with energy. What is that? Some sort of altar? Wait. This is the same place as before. What the fuck is that? Why are we getting tunnel vision? Oh god! Oh no! Hello? Your voice trembles out of fear. Your heart thuds in your chest. You feel an intense warmth radiating out from in front of you. Is someone there? God, what's happening? Where am I? You still stand among your companions. A low voice reverberates in the darkness. Your body freezes in fear. Yes, among your companions. Only you are amiss in time. With every word, the voice seems to be getting close. Oh god. You try to take a step backwards, but you're unable to move. That's terrifying. Who's there? Your heart races wildly. Hi, Satan! Who are you? What's going on? I have been many things to you, Kunal, just as you've worn many faces, held many names. Only you cannot remember the others. What do you mean? For now it is yet too soon to know. To speak of myself, it would be a judgment premature. Not unfair to myself, but to you, Kunal. You and I, we have been tied for so long. Try to steady your shaking voice. How do you know my name? Who are you? To know me, I would bid you ask yourself, who are you now? Who do you wish to become? I don't understand. Your body warms but a drop of mage's blood, yet you are a mage all the same. As were all who have drawn upon my spirit, and in so doing giving me new forms. Flesh tinged with cunning, fear, hope, desire. For power or for pleasure. Destinies I can grant you should you wish. It is Satan. It's Satan. It's the devil. But all that lies ahead, you asked only of me. Jesus Christ. Hi! Your eyes widen in shock and fear. When last we met, you knew me as Eldet. Goodbye, Kunal. Rest assured, we'll be together soon. Jesus Christ. What if I don't want to hug you? The tomb begins to tremble, cracks appearing in the walls and floor. Farin, sling him over your shoulder if you have to. We can't stay here. Suddenly, you feel yourself being lifted off the floor. the shock breaking you out of your daze. Wait, what? Farin half pushes, half carries you towards the staircase. You, Farin, and Tariq run through the collapsing tomb, dodging falling stones from above and leaping across gaps where the floor has fallen away. Farin looks over at you as you run, checking to make sure you haven't fallen behind. What was that back there? I don't know. Wait, were you two there? Did you see it too? All I saw was you standing still while the tomb was coming down around us. Had we stayed any longer... Tariq, I don't know what happened, but I was beside you and Farin, and then... I don't know. There was something. I don't know what or who it was. The mage lights, they were red, and you both were gone, and it called itself Eldet. Said it knew me. You're not making any sense, Kunal. Tariq, forget it. We've nearly made it out. They didn't see it. They weren't there. Panting heavily, you finally stumble back into the atrium, now a crumbling ruin. Just as you reach the entrance, you're stopped by... Kahina? We can't stay here, sister. This place is... I'm so sorry, brother. What? Kahina. Tariq takes a step towards Kahina. I love you, Tariq. You stare at the closed entrance gate. Kahina's a mage? Sister. Open the door. What? Kunal, you have to open the door. It's our only chance. Your heart pounds in your chest. You take one final look at the gate before assuming the meditative position. Close your eyes. Kahina can't be a mage. She has no sigil. Tariq surely would have known. What if it's on her other arm, though? Let the magic flow with your breath, unless it has to be on the one arm. And before, to where or to when was I taken? And channel it through to the mind. Eldet. Who was Eldet? What was Eldet? Be together soon. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh dude! Yes! Oh, that is sick as hell! Oh, that's it! Oh my god! Thank you for playing the demo of the visual novel Eldet. If the crowdfunding campaign for this project is successful, and it was, Eldet will be made in a full game, which it is. In the full version of the game, you will continue from where the demo left off with Kahina, Tariq, and Farin's quest lines, as well as meet the other 4 love interests and begin their quest lines. There's also like 6 other love interests that were submitted per meeting quest goals, which is really cool and really interesting. Also, it's interesting that they like allow you to have like a straight love path if you want to. Also, they did mention on the Kickstarter page that you can also pursue non-romantic quest lines and complete them just fine, if that's not your thing. So that's really interesting. And there's so much more to this game than just a dating sim. Like, this is so interesting. I am really invested in the storyline. These companions will take you across the sea among a band of pirate raiders, lead you deep inside the most ancient tombs of the world, expose you to the magical curses of possession and lycan. There's werewolves, and involve you in the machinations of Karnata's largest thieves syndicate, all while aiding you in the quest to unravel the mystery of the being known as Eldet. If you enjoyed the demo and want to see this project succeed, tell as many people as you can about it. Ask them to play it themselves. I need all the help I can get raising awareness to make the funding campaign a success. I think the goal for this one was like $7,000 or something, and it ended up raising like $30,000. If you been sold by the demo, consider donating to the campaign. Once more, thanks for playing. Okay, so that was Eldet. Dude, that was fucking cool! Oh, I'm so excited for the full game! I think I'm gonna post this, like, wherever I can, even though the Kickstarter is done. I really wanna see this game succeed, and I wanna, like, let lots of people know about it, so, anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching, for checking me out. I will leave the link to, this game in the description, as well as all the, developer information I can find, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Later!